Alright, we have another Field of Glory 2 Digital League Season 8 battle. This is Late Antiquity Division A. I'm using an army I have never really played with before, Bosporan with Roman allies versus Byzantine. I used a slightly later Byzantine list than this to great effect last season. Late Antiquity is actually my best section. Now I am facing them. Let's see what we've got. So the foot skirmisher options are quite limited at 4 units. The Roman auxiliary archers are okay. They're basically protected massed archers. So sometimes they're worth the 42 points, sometimes they are not. For light cavalry, light javelin horse are of course worth it. The light horse archer options, these are good units, but they're very expensive, and I generally don't bother bringing them along. We'll see if my opponent disagrees. For non-light cavalry, there are lancer and horse archer options, including the fierce nomad horse archer. So these are superior and protected. For 56, a good buy. There are also so there are these Byzantine lancers, both superior and above average quality. They're lancers, swordsmen, 50% bow. So a very good cavalry unit to get out of a standoff in, and they can also offer fire support in tandem with infantry skirmishers. The veteran variety are quite expensive at 72, but they're really good. The above average quality ones are still good. They're just they need a little bit of finesse to use because your standard 64-point armored noble lancer will crash into them and sweep them away in a simple head-on slam into each other confrontation. But they are well worth their 54 points. In terms of an infantry line, the dismounted lancers are very good for light antiquity. They're basically superior offensive spearmen. So think either respectively veteran hoplites or veteran armored hoplites. The difference being there aren't very many impact foot around to ruin their day in this time period. Legio Comitatensis, so they're heavy foot. So darts, basically they are impact foot if you charge them, but just light spear swordsmen if they charge you. The difference between them and impact foot on the defensive is that they also have 200 POA against charging cavalry, as opposed to the 100 that impact foot get. A situational buy, good against armies with lots of cavalry, or good if you feel like you're going to be on the defensive, not so good for forcing offensive action. Finally, these are Limatane. So these are a horrible unit. They're raw, protected, light spear swordsman, heavy foot, unmaneuverable. They're also 24 points, so usually I max them out when I play as the Byzantines. So let's look at this Bosporan army in contrast. Lots of light foot options. And I can get the earlier Roman legionaries. Not very many of them. They're very expensive, but they could trash any of his infantry that they run into unless they run into dismounted lancers that hold firm. Heavy artillery I never buy because it basically forces draws all the time. Light artillery are well worth it. They can trundle behind the line and fire over friendlies. Good, cheap light cavalry options, but not very many. And my cavalry is more conventional. I can get lancers and light spear cavalry of various sorts. I probably will not want to utilize very many light spear cavalry. Looking at the terrain in our deployment area, he would move first and potentially seize this ridgeline, but that's okay. I mean, this is a defensible location and choke point here. Skirmishers can hold a forest, so there's going to be cavalry action here. So I'll need to decide whether I want to actually invest 78 points in another unit of these Roman legionaries or not. Do you want to put some light javelin men in this wood. In forest fighting, I prefer javelin men because the range doesn't matter and the light spear ability is nice. And I will want slingers and archers. If I'm facing a lot of half bow cavalry or even horse archers, I will want these units. At least for now, I'm going to field this unit. I'm not sure if I will stick to that. The only difference between mediocre and imitation legionaries is that the imitation legionaries are somewhat less well armored and cost 3 points less, so we'll go with the budget variety for now. Okay, now we need to, unfortunately, worry about fielding a cavalry wing. We do want artillery. Okay. Armored noble lancers. Bring along some light javelin horse and nomad horse archers for more range support. 22 points. Right. Might drop this loose order warband and replace them with auxiliaries. Yeah, his only medium foot options are irregular foot. 38 points. What will be even remotely useful? Light horse archers or raw legionaries? Let's take the raw legionaries, actually. Okay, we've adopted a somewhat defensive deployment here. That might not be necessary to maintain. Normally, I dump all my generals into the infantry wing, but in this case, I think if we have problems, it's going to be because the infantry can't really help us. So I will put the commanders in the cavalry wing instead. So we've tried a pretty small and expensive army. I'm not sure if that'll work out or if I should be investing more in mobs of cheap units. So we might change it up for future battles with this army. Okay, next turn. Okay, what have we got? Skirmishers and cavalry on my left, as expected. Pretty hefty investment in infantry. So I'm glad I did end up getting that second unit of Roman legionaries. Legio Comitatensis, I'm not that worried about. Okay. How many cavalry units? 7. Including 4 above average Byzantine lancers. I also have 7 cavalry units, though 2 of them are just average quality nomad horse archers. 4 foot skirmishers and 2 cavalry skirmishers against a lot more of mine. I wonder if he is hiding anything or if his army is simply that expensive. I think it might just be that expensive. Which is good for me. I'm going to hold these javelin men slightly back just so I don't intimidate him so much that he adopt some kind of defensive crouch. Although if he does, we're going to be well equipped to deal with it. Looks like we can reach this hill in time. I suppose I could hang back and shoot. Well, I don't need to make that decision yet. We can play for time a little bit. We want these raw legionaries to keep pace after all. We probably are going to find it necessary to swing this right wing around, so we don't want to rush ahead too quickly. We certainly don't want to rush onto these hills, which he can occupy before I can. Well, this hill could be worth making a play for. We'll see how he deploys, or how he moves. Next turn. It's a lot of good quality cavalry. Okay, on the other hand, it looks like he's giving me this hill. So we can form up on a line something like that. As he forms up something like that, I assume? We'll have this valley in between us. No point in hiding anymore. Get these irregular foot over if we need medium footwork, and then these auxiliaries will shift towards a cavalry engagement. Not because they're any good at that, but just because they might as well. This ballista, I'm trying to decide. It could either hang here and kind of watch over this area, move it towards this hill, and it can watch over this area. But I'm afraid if I do so, his cavalry will move here. I'm thinking that it might actually make sense to, well, it would be best if it was here and it could push with the cavalry, but it's not. So instead, turn it that way. So yeah, we'll occupy this hill, see what he does, and then react. I will, however, turn that way. Yeah, good enough. We're not that close yet. Next turn. Yeah, no surprise there. We'll probably shuffle these light horse back a little bit as well. We'll probably, in fact, shift the whole line back here so we can actually have time to bring up this right wing. Although he doesn't seem to be in a particular hurry either, so that's alright. We'll shift this unit. Well, so much indecision. We'll shift this unit of lancers down a bit. Good. So once we settle up here, then we can consider whether we want to fall back or push up. Okay, you'll experience an increase in the audio volume. I was told that's quiet. The way play by email works, there's no way I was going to bother with the work of turning all my audio settings on and off based on which match I was in, so there's just going to have to be a mid-game bump like this. He is keeping his non-light horse out of range of the artillery. So we'll keep falling back to force him into range, or at least to give us time to bring this flank up. We'll get a bit cheeky with how close we get here. And yeah, so that's our range. I might shuffle these auxiliaries over this way. So yes, please get closer. If he doesn't, if he stands, then we'll just keep bringing this wing of lights up. And I believe we outnumber him in lights. Let's see here. We have 13 to his 6. And in addition, we have 2 non-light horse archers to his, well, if we count these as half, 4.5 more or less. And we have artillery. So we should be able to force him to come down even if he refuses to move right away. Next turn. All right. Let's say hello. Just out of range. I'm debating whether I should turn these left so I can start inching them around this way. Yes, 8 lancers here. I don't really want to engage that with my 5 lancers and raw infantry until I can get some reinforcements or firepower. I'll let the artillery stay. It is useful to deny or at least obstruct movement to this area. Now, if this infantry starts pushing to support this assault, we'll have to continue to fall back and then hopefully start doing some damage over here, or else we might have to move. Next turn. Oh, okay, we have movement. I wonder if I've gotten over bold on this right flank. Well, let's continue to say hello. Put some pressure on. We're still far enough away from the horsemen that we should be able to evade their charges. Would like to force him into precipitous action. Although maybe that's what I'm doing myself, who can say. I suppose I will be able to say after I view the footage of this game later. Right, I think we should get some kind of reaction. The question is, have I left too many of my own points of troops sitting back here feeling intimidated by these units, and now left myself vulnerable to be rolled up along this right side? Time will tell. Next turn. I thought I was luring him in, but it looks like he might have been luring me in. Oh! Yep, he's pulling that wing back, so now we need to close in. Well done to him. Let's see if we can force a drop. No. Okay, what do we do then? I don't like to shoot at long range, but I would really like held firm. Okay. What else are we to do? It's a start. Unfortunate. Well, he was forced to do this because if he hadn't done this, I could have got some kind of flank attack somewhere here. Now he's had to engage. So instead, now we are forced to turn about to protect our own flanks. Now the downside of pushing my light javelin in here is that it allows his cavalry to get potentially behind me. Okay. So last of all, what do we do with this unit? I think we simply need to trust this line is going to hold for a little while with some help on the way in the form of these two units and push. I'm also going to have to be careful not to let my lancers get stuck facing these Legio Comitatenses because they have darts and we cannot really charge them. So this is dicey. I may have misjudged the situation. Onward. Next turn. It's heating up. Yeah, that is a problem. We've set ourselves up to get rolled up here, so we need to attack as aggressively as we can everywhere else. A double drop would have been convenient there, but a bit much to hope for. I should have actually let this unit get pushed back. That was a mistake. That will pay for. Unfortunate. I'll go for the Limatane, just on the off chance that I can force a disruption. No. This is gonna go very badly. We need to rush reinforcements over there to plug the gap, because there's going to be a gap. Very good. It's a half arc, but I want the disruption to deaden the blow. Pull back. These lancers can intervene over here. This is looking rather bad, however. Not really sure what to do. May have overinvested in light infantry. Very dangerous. Yeah, I thought I was being so slick. And now I'm getting potentially totally wrecked over here. Okay, now we pay. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt more. Ooh, we lucked out for a time, and these guys are doomed, but as long as they can hold on for a little bit. Oh no! Okay. Ouch. Okay, not too bad because they moved before firing. Bad turn for our lights, but it should give us some time. Does that frag them? No. Okay, pretty ugly. Not a complete disaster yet. Damn. I was hoping these guys would be in range, but they're just out of range. Good. Good. Let's let these guys flee, or not. Never know. Very bad. Very bad. Abandons our artillery. Perhaps I don't want to do that. Okay, having done that, oddly enough, this is actually viable, although it's a waste of points and we could bounce. Or we could try to charge this unit and push through and see where that leads us. I'm gonna opt for that. It leads us nowhere. Okay. Right, so at 3 to 5, my official prediction is that he will win this. Because although this is a bit messy for him, the loss of my infantry is worth a lot more percent. And his infantry is quite intact. But we'll see if that was premature. Okay, let's see if my prediction of a loss bears horrible rotting fruit. Oh, that doesn't help things at all, does it? Run. Okay, yeah, that was a risk. Some points on the table. That could take us somewhere useful. Very good. We might have a chance to turn the hill battle around if we have some time. Goodbye the artillery, what a shame. Come on, do something. I turn around here, I threaten his flank, and threaten my own rear. It's a bit of a dilemma. You just stop that. Ouch. So he's just sitting here with this infantry because they're darts light spears, so they only get the light spear when attacking. They get the darts as well when defending. That's about to turn ugly. Please hold. Good-ish. Although now he can... If he locks into melee with this unit by charging, then he can rear attack here. We've got to get out of here. Even if we just get locked in somewhere else, we've got to get out of there. Okay, that's it. We have to lock them in. I think we would bounce off and be unable to lock this unit. Very tempted to turn to threaten the flank and just accept a rear charge, hope we hold and get a bounce, but that might be a horrific idea. I think it is a really terrible idea. At this point, I think we just have to charge. Yeah, I am standing by my prediction for this moment. Next turn. I'm scared. I'm scared. No, 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 don't turn. Oh. I really wanted them to stay facing this way. Yeah. Do we disrupt? That would be unfortunate. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're doomed. Our lancers are too locked in. I wanted to engage these so he couldn't lock his lancers in, force him to engage, and then get an automatic cohesion drop. I'm going to threaten the flank attack now. I think things are desperate enough that I just need to... Oddly enough, this would actually be a really bad idea. Come on. Oh. This is too slow. By far, it is just much too slow. And this is just horrific, really. Hold firm. Now we can either stand and get fragged or charge and, you know, get fragged. It's even, but it's not. Trust me. You'll see. Okay, the bad things continue. Would you? Just. Thank you. I mean, it's too late, but. God. At least we got something out of it. Goodbye. That is awkward. Makes things very awkward for us. Alright, so he's about to rear charge me here. And there's pretty much nothing we can do about it. If we do it, there's really no time to waste, so... Oh, such a mess. Alright, onward. Next turn, Constantin IX says, the Roman legions are so resilient. They are. I don't know that they're going to be resilient enough to save this for me, however. Oh, disruption there. I'm actually kind of okay with this. I'd rather he empty his quivers on my lights. Ooh. Not low, not low, not low. So unfortunately, we're probably going to disrupt before contact here. But I don't think we have a choice. I think we just have to go for it. Yeah, my infantry line is about to go. Oh. So pretty soon, all that's going to be left is this single unit of auxilia. So we're going to lose 4 units of non-light infantry shortly. And I don't know that we can recover from that because then we don't really have an anvil to work with for our hammer. And our hammer's looking a little worse as well. Yeah, well, we'll see what we can do. Okay, this ought to be the turn of our collapse. Oh, interesting. I guess that saves this unit for 1 turn. Yeah, it's definitely overconfident. Now I suffer for it. That could have gone better. Well, at least we can get some points on the table. Maybe. Ouch! Yeah, this will be over soon. Well done. Next turn. Oh, that's actually bad, because we are locked in. We're going to take a round of melee against steady General Dub superior offensive spears. I'd beg for some rallies, but I don't really know who even would rally. These fleeing infantry units are pretty beat up. still pursuing? Yes. Shooting at pursuers is minus 50%. Never do it. Fall back. Ouch. It's unfortunate. These low ammo units firing aren't really going to do any good. Goodbye to that unit. At least we can finally auto-break that unit of Comitatensis. If we're lucky, it could lead to a flank charge. I don't know. I haven't been feeling too lucky, but who knows? I could turn and shoot again, but then we'll just get charged and pushed off the map, which is worth half route percent. And when you're at 50%, you don't risk that. Okay, well, at least we might push him past 40 before the end. Next turn. Well, that was just unnecessary. That's actually quite helpful for us. I mean, not that it's going to make a difference in the overall result. They're superior, so they probably won't drop till they're around something like 200 or 220. But we might as well try. Okay. Next turn, perhaps our last. Well, we can salvage a little dignity at least. see what damage we can do. Almost. Alright, onward. Next turn. It's heavies against mediums, and yet they're superior and generaled up, so I think it doesn't really matter. Damn, so close to auto-breaking this unit and he drove us off. Ugh. No good. We will disrupt then. Fall back. I guess it's going to drag on a few more turns, but there really is no hope. Next turn. Is this the last? Maybe not quite yet. That could do me in though. I wonder if that'll be 5%. There we go. I did really like using that Byzantine army last season. I was kind of hoping for an auto break there, but was not to be. Yes, my cat agrees with me. It was not to be. You know what we can do? Oh, yeah, of course. Well, we're gonna do it anyway at this point. Why not? So close. Oh, maybe not. 117 I have to drop them to? That's unlikely. Well, for some reason we continue to scrape on at 55%, but it has got to end soon. Next turn. There we go, it takes us to what, 59? Yep. Ouch. Cannot do that. Really a shame that I couldn't find a way to auto-break that unit. Not that it would have won the battle or anything, but just wanted them to die. It's completely pointless. Don't know why I'm bothering. I guess I just want him to have to work for it. Yeah, at this point, why not? Alright. Next turn looks like the final turn. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Well, I think, I don't exactly remember how the league scoring works. I think because I pushed him over 40%, I should get a little consolation point, a little, you know, participation trophy for me there. And there we go. Defeat. I was actually surprised that it took that long after he started rolling me up. So, why did I lose this? I was definitely overconfident about this right wing. There was a little bit of bad luck involved in the sense that I had impact foot defending against spears uphill, and none of the impacts were particularly favorable to me. So they stuck on right away without disrupts. That was too bad. But that was only a big problem because I failed to bring enough units to cover this. If I'd even brought along maybe one unit of lancers from this flank to just cover this right flank, I could have held this hill, I think. And had I done so, I was actually making progress along the left, although my cavalry breaking through were running into these Legio Comitatensis and getting locked in and shot up. So I'm not sure if maybe I should have invested less in heavy cavalry and more in infantry. The Byzantine army, or a variation of it, was what I took to the field last season, and I did very well with it. And you can see its strengths here in the sense that the superior offensive spears are good infantry for late antiquity, and the Byzantine lancers, while I did eventually sweep them from the field, they're pretty cheap for what they are, and although Constantine didn't really use them, the bow ability can be really nice for breaking a stalemate. But yeah, very well done to him. A good game. Till next time.